Hogwarts Legacy is a game that many Harry Potter and gaming fans are looking forward to. It's going to have a long lifespan in the gaming world and should have many updates to keep things going. Well, did you know that the first DLC already has a trailer? Well, stay tuned to today's video as we discuss the new exclusive PS5 Haunted Hogsmeade quest for Hogwarts Legacy. First up, this brand new exclusive mission takes players on a haunted mystery in Hogsmeade. Hogwarts Legacy was previously announced to have a PlayStation exclusive quest, and this was officially shown off during the latest State of Play livestream from Sony. If you haven't been keeping up on Hogwarts Legacy news, it was revealed a while ago that the game would launch on basically every platform, and it would definitely have some PlayStation exclusive content. This has been a theme for games for quite a while now, so it's no surprise that such a massive franchise like Harry Potter would have some form of exclusivity to one platform. This brand new exclusive mission was advertised in a very spooky trailer released towards the start of Sony's State of Play livestream in September. The Haunted Hogsmeade shop is the quest line that we will be delving into today, and they showed off some light details on what the exclusive content will entail. This trailer does feature a lot of human-like objects, so if you are afraid of that sort of stuff, please make sure you are ready. This trailer is very spooky. The dolls in this trailer would not look out of place in something like Doctor Who, or even a creepy adaptation of Pinocchio. The quest is going to see players allowed to buy a rundown Hogsmeade shop in the village, where Hogwarts students are allowed to visit. Nothing is as it seems, however. The shop seems to be very haunted, and the store's seller cannot wait to get rid of it. Madame Mason is the one who's selling the shop to you, and we don't know its history, but we are sure to uncover it throughout this exclusive mission. The trailer shows off some quests and challenges that players will have to complete throughout the exclusive content, as well as how players should come out the end with a prime piece of real estate on their hands. There is a use for the shop, as you are able to sell your items and gear for a full price, as well as an added bonus. If you do end up finishing this exclusive DLC, you will get access to shopkeeper cosmetic sets, so you can really dress the part. The Haunted Hogsmeade shop is a quest that's exclusive to the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 players. You won't even need to pre-order any version of the game to get access to it, as it is built into the PlayStation edition of Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy. We can't wait to get our hands on this exclusive piece of content, as it most likely won't be coming to other platforms ever, or for quite a while. If it is going to be released on another platform, it will most likely be in a year, as most exclusive content only lasts around a year due to contractual obligations. Hogwarts Legacy is set to release on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC on February the 11th, 2023. The Nintendo Switch release date does not have any confirmation just yet, but we do know that it is expected to launch a little later than the other editions as usual. The game was originally supposed to release on all platforms at the same time, but Warner Brothers Games and Avalanche Software said that the game would be delayed into February to give the developer much more time to craft the best possible experience for players. The Nintendo Switch version was also pushed back away from the other versions due to some issues in development. That's all we have to show on Hogwarts Legacy and its specialist list of content, Haunted Hogsmeade. We can't wait to play the game early next year, and we hope that you enjoyed this segment of the video. Let us know down in the comment section below your thoughts on Hogwarts Legacy and this exclusive horror-themed quest. And now, on to some other gaming news from the last few weeks. Next up, Cyberpunk 2077's player base continues to rise as the game reaches top seller status on Steam. The sudden resurgence of Cyberpunk 2077 is yet to slow down, as its concurrent player base is continuing to grow day by day, and its sales numbers are now placing it in Steam's recent top sellers directory, above Modern Warfare 2 and FIFA 23. The rising play count of Cyberpunk 2077 has been noticed by the fan base over the past few weeks now, and there are a a few major factors for this. Earlier this month, CD Projekt Red announced the game will be getting a DLC expansion titled Phantom Liberty, which will feature a brand new district within the open world game and a story based upon American thrillers. As well as this, they also confirmed the return of Keanu Reeves as Johnny Silverhand, and that the police system will be upgraded within the game. Many are now speculating that the DLC was not as impactful as it could have been to raise the Cyberpunk player base. But one other factor 100% has increased the player base. On September 13th, Netflix released their anime spin-off titled Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and this heavily impacted the player base of Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk Edgerunners has been praised up and down and is one of Netflix's most successful series of this year so far. The Cyberpunk IP already had reached a massive audience, but this new anime opened it up to a brand new group of players. This is one of the biggest factors that motivated past and new players to come to the game, and CD Projekt Red announced that the game is now getting 1 million unique players per day. Many players will be returning because they probably never finished the game, as at launch Cyberpunk 2077 was very much unfinished. When the game launched back in December of 2020, Cyberpunk 2077 had numerous visual and functional glitches, even leading PlayStation users and Xbox users to have corrupted save files. The reaction to these bugs was so negative that PlayStation had to remove the game from the PlayStation Store for around 6 months. Nowadays, the game has been patched over time and is near perfect, aside from the previous generation versions, which have been left to rot. The game is now a really good, solid open world title with a great story, and is well worth your time if you enjoyed Edgerunners or just want to finish up the game before moving on to a different one. Cyberpunk 2077 getting all of this is really deserved, as the game was phenomenal to begin with, but was played with many glitches. We can't wait to see how this game will develop over the next few years, and possibly into its sequel coming out in a few years. And finally, Resident Evil 8's DLC wraps up the Winters storyline. The final piece of information we're going over before you wrap up today's video is that the long-awaited Resident Evil Village DLC is going to wrap up the Ethan Winters storyline we have been covering since Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil Village was released back in 2021, and it has managed to carry forward the legacy of the previous Resident Evil games. Considering that Resident Evil 7 was one of the best games in the franchise, there were a lot of expectations fans had with Resident Evil Village, and it did manage to live up to the hype as well. In Resident Evil 8, players start where they left off in Resident Evil 7, as the protagonist Ethan Winters. The entire plotline of the franchise revolves around the Winter family from Resident Evil 7 onwards, but it seems like the developers will now be concluding their story. In an interview with IGN, director Kento Kinoshita of Capcom adds that the sole purpose behind creating the DLC was to give a fitting conclusion to the Winter family storyline. He adds that Capcom is creating the Shadows of Rose story to conclude the Winters family saga. So if you are a fan of the current set of characters in the Resident Evil franchise, you might not see them again, at least in the near future. This also means that we could see a completely new character in Resident Evil 9, or could probably see the return of Leon, something fans have been eagerly waiting for. While people have been wildly speculating about the news, Capcom has declined to shed any light on its future plans. As far as the contents of the DLC go, it takes place 16 years after the events of the base game, and players play as Ethan Winters' daughter, Rose. While players don't have a lot of weaponry at their disposal, Rose's powers are what make things interesting. One of the most exciting aspects of the DLC is the third-person mode, which could give a whole new dimension to the replayability value of the game. And that's the end of today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this latest video. If you did, would you please let us know down in the comment section below? It would be very helpful. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, and of course subscribe to the channel with the notification bell rung. Thank you for watching today's video. Bye!